I have been looking at spreadsheets for the last few hours and my mind needs a break. Because I am not a left brain person, I am a right brain person. So it's really time to do some Record-ology, guys. Welcome back to Record-ology. So we are sitting here in front of the LP3 looking at this record. Once again, this is my, seemed like it was starting up awful slowly. This is my Patsy Cline record that I've tried to clean and clean and clean and clean and clean and clean. And listen how crackly it still sounds. Now, so good music. It's so good. That being said, a number of you have given me advice. I went ahead and did the detergent route. I don't know if you saw my posting earlier today. I slathered it with palm olive, both sides. Used hot water, although not hot enough to warp it any more than it already is. And I just let that settle into the grooves. Now remember, when I first started out, this thing was dredging out gunk out of the grooves. It was dredging gunk out of the grooves. So I figured it's just super, super dirty. It was almost skipping, tracks. It was skipping grooves because it was so nasty. So what I ended up doing was, surface cleaning, deep cleaning, spin cleaning it, spin scrubbing it, and then finally the detergent. The only thing I haven't done is the wood glue method. I don't have any wood glue, and I just feel like it's not going to do that. A number of you have said, you know what? A record has a limited... Somebody said that 800 plays. Is that an actual thing? Tell me in the comments down below. It makes sense, that a record has a finite amount of plays, and there's probably different factors that play into that. But 800 plays, if the record has just reached the 800 mark, and it's a done deal, it's a pretty worn label, too. I mean, this thing is... definitely the grooves look good though. That's the thing. Still, look at that rainbow sheen is on there. It still looks like it's got some polish, but maybe it's just been played one too many times. Now I will say this: it did get markedly better. It got markedly better after I did all that cleaning, and I did have to get the label wet when I did the palm olive, but I haven't experienced a lot of damage doing that. And plus, it was $1. This record was either a free bin record or not. But anyway, I'm hooked on the music, and I'm totally bummed about the crackling. And I understand vinyl, you're going to have crackling. I mean, trust me. We've talked about this. We educate newcomers about this. But at the end of the day, it wasn't sounding as clean as I thought it should. So what are you going to do? You're going to get a new record. So that's what I did. Now, I had seen this record. So this one, by the way, where's the cover? This is called, the one we were just looking at is this. This was released when Patsy Cline was alive. This is Showcase with the Jordanaires. Talked about it before. I'm not going to do it again. So it's got some of her biggest hits. But it's not a greatest hits album per se. That would be this. And this is the one I just picked up. It is brand new. I very, very infrequently purchase a brand new vinyl record, but I did it today. As you can see, we are completely sealed. It's got a sticker on it. Now this is a reissue of a 1967. She passed away in 1963. So 1967, this was issued. The original one was issued with her actual greatest hits, and it's a brand new pressing, and it's a pretty good value. Patsy Cline's greatest hits. And if you're interested, if you want to hear more, Patsy Cline, here's 3 albums, including the one I just showed you. Stereophonic record, Decca, full stereo, Books A Million, so that's the parent company for Second and Charles. That's where I got it. I paid $19 for it. I had seen it like 3 days ago. We were at Barnes & Noble, and I passed it up. I'm like, well, maybe I can get my other one clean. I'm sorry I keep bumping the tripod. And I couldn't do it. I'm like, dang it, I had record regret. We've talked about record regret. I had that. So we were up there doing something else, and I'm like, I wonder if they have that record. They did. $19. Pretty good price for a new record. Interesting to note that Decca is now part of the MCA Nashville and Universal Music Company group. So we're going to open that up. I'm saving that for us to open here in a minute. While I was up there flipping through the value bin, I came across this little chestnut. Les Paul and Mary Ford, hello. This is a really, really awesome record. And these knuckleheads had this thing listed at $2.95. It's just like boggles the mind. So let's look at this really quickly first. I mean, this is an amazing, amazing record. Capitol Records. That's kind of odd. Doesn't that look a little familiar to the back of the new record with the 3 albums suggested? I don't know if that's coincidence or not, but look at the layout of the back of this. Keep in mind this is Decca, MCA, Universal, and this being Capitol, the original Capitol. It bears a striking resemblance to the way that's laid out. I don't know, I just thought I'd mention that. So let's listen to this. Les Paul, Mary Ford. If you don't know who Les Paul is, oh, this is cool. I like it when the records have like an interesting inner sleeve. Awesome. If you don't know who Les Paul is, aside from being a guitar player that can pull notes out of a guitar that was never designed to make, and a very snarky personality, definitely admire him more for his artistic contributions than I do his personality per se. He did some stuff with Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins was an all-around guitar player specializing in country western. Les Paul is the same thing, specializing in jazz. It's kind of his specialty. So this is a no-brainer. And his wife, Mary Ford, I always thought it was sad that they didn't stay together. They got divorced. Apparently he was too career-focused, and she didn't like that. That's what I heard anyway. But this guy invented reverb. He invented all. I don't know if he invented. What else did he invent? He invented all kinds of stuff. He, at the time of, some of their early recordings, he owned the only 8-track recorder that existed. I mean, he really, really did a lot to develop the recording arts. So there's that going for him, in addition to the whole fact that he can play notes on a guitar that it wasn't designed to make. All right, let's listen to a little bit of this. I was unwise with eyes unable to see. He can make a guitar sound like a band organ. It's amazing. I fell in love with love. Okay, let's try this. Music is amazing. Amazing. I wonder what year this is. So I'm like, what does I say? $1.95, $2.95. Sometimes I feel like I feel like people that are reselling records don't know what they have in their hands, and you benefit off of that sometimes. All right, let's drop it here one more time. Listen to that. Sounds like nobody else's guitar. Let me just say that. Okay, so, but that's not what we're really here for today. Today we're here to open the new record, but I want to show you this one that I picked up at the same time. A fantastic, fantastic record. And doing my very basic visual grading. It needs to be cleaned. It's got a good polish to it. The modulation looks clean. It doesn't look worn down at all. Looks like somebody went ham with a spindle in the middle there. Probably had a pointy spindle turntable, kind of like our LP7, and just was a little aggressive trying to get that thing down on there. By the way, I like the rounded tip of this. And this spindle on this actually does rotate, unlike some. So let's go ahead and open a brand new record. I've been wanting to do this all day, but saving it for the show because this is not something that I do a lot of because new records are expensive. But, oh, there it is, the tear off. It's funny when you come across old records that still have the cellophane. This is nice, soft, new plastic wrap. Some of the old stuff almost sounds metallic. It gets so rigid. Let's go ahead and just... It's not a gatefold. Okay, we got the classic Decca label on there. Long play, 33 1/3. Originally released 1967 by Decca Records. This re-release is copyright 2016 MCA of Nashville. If you aren't familiar, or you're limited, if you have limited familiarity, by the way, we're going to replace this paper sleeve right away. We're going to be doing a show on my Wizard of Oz record in the near future. I'm not sure when. Using that for about a week, I totally scratched up my record. Look at this. This thing is brand new, and it's already scuffed. Look at that. That's why you don't want a paper sleeve. Look at this. Look at these. Where's the really bad one? I just saw right here. Look at that. That's a paper sleeve. And look at little shavings of paper. You know, I cry foul on a lot of, snobbery and BS. But one thing that is absolutely true is that paper sleeves, although it feels soft, the wood fibers in there, it's too harsh for a vinyl record. So, boy, this thing is warped. That brings up another topic. New records aren't made to the same standard old ones are. Man, that sucks. Some people wash their records even if they're brand new. Good Lord, look at that. Anyway, what was I going to say? Patsy Cline. So if you're not familiar with Patsy Cline, or you're like, yeah, she did that song crazy, she died in a plane crash, do yourself a favor and just sit there and listen. Listen to two songs. Two songs. One of them crazy. One of them walking after midnight. And listen to the quality of the sound and obviously the artistic side of things. Her voice, the emotion behind it. By the way, Crazy was written by Willie Nelson. Kind of a fun little tidbit. Interesting. But she owned that song. Owned it. All right, here's some Walking After Midnight on our brand new record. Yay, there's no crackles. Man, I wish I could play more for you guys. So we got a warped, scuffed, brand new record. Ah, boy. Awesome. And a couple more. Find someone else to love. Someone. Just amazing music. Beautiful music. It was so wrong. Sounds good. I can't wait to listen to this. Cannot wait to hear it in its entirety. Oh boy. So interesting. You spend almost $20 on a new record, sometimes more, and you got issues right out of the gate. It's damaged a brand new record is damaged. Why can't we not just put I'm going on a rant. Here we go. Why can't we put new records in? I mean, figuratively speaking, I know paper is obviously the cheapest. That's why they do it. But an anti-static, plastic soft sleeve that's not going to damage the record. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of it has to do with what did this record go through before I got my hands on it. How many times was it shuffled in and out, shaken, whatever. But still, there's got to be... we've been doing records now for over a century. Like a century and a half. So we ought to be at the point now where we can, distribute them and sell them without damaging them. Okay, guys. Bit of a rambler tonight. I apologize, but sometimes it's just cool to hang out. It's like tonight's show is like hey, let's go to the record room. Let's just chill out for a little bit. I'll show you what I picked up today. Let me know down in the comments about the finite number of plays. Is it 800? And the plastic, the vinyl, the PVC, even if it doesn't wear down, maybe it can degenerate at some point, and those crackles are just bits of that plastic breaking down and disappearing. I don't know. It's an amazing science, all of this. I want to learn more. I'm limited in my understanding, but that's okay. I'm excited. I want to be in a place of learning at all times. So, all right, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Hope you're staying safe. I hope you're not having to spend too much time looking at an Excel spreadsheet. If you're not dealing with column delineated files or whatever, then you're doing pretty good. Unless you're getting paid for it. In that case, it's it could be a good thing, I suppose. But if you're not, you probably want to get to the records right away. All right, guys, that's going to do it for now. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.